What are some good weird questions to ask someone to get to know them better? What do you hate? Seriously. You can have nothing in common with a person, but as soon as you realize you both hate the same things, you'll feel like that dude is family. Now that I think about it, that explains a lot of the things that happened these last years. One day at work we got a new hire who was set to work with me and another guy on the night shift. For the first week she barely said anything. Then at the start of week 2 I'm midway into the shift, focusing on some shit on my computer monitor, when I hear her say, "What's your opinion on eating ass?" Quote, I was fucking shocked, and that's hard to do. I bust out laughing and tell her to do that again to our other coworker. Few minutes later he comes back and is also focusing on some computer stuff. It gets dead quiet and she quietly turns to him and asks, "What's your opinion on eating ass?" He didn't even move. Immediately his ears moved like he was just jolted back to reality from zoning out. He slowly turns to her with the eyebrow thing like The Rock does but with glasses and goes, "What?" Quote, I was crying. What's the largest mammal you think you could knock out with a single punch? Your bitch ass. What's up? Got $20 on the dude with gold. I asked my 9-year-old son this question and he said, "A human," and I looked at him and said, "You think you could knock out a human with one punch?" And he goes, "Well, a baby." This absolutely cracked me up for some reason. Squirrel. What's one superpower you would not want? Their answer could be pretty telling. If they answer seriously or sarcastically or don't want to play along. What can you talk about for hours? What's the best part of your day? Edit. Gold. Ah, thanks. May all of your conversations blossom. 10 minutes later. Oh, I regret that first question. Depends. I've had it go both ways for me. A new friend noticed that I had a keyblade on my wall and we spent the next hour geeking out over Kingdom Hearts. But I also met a new acquaintance and made the mistake of mentioning an anime. He suddenly went full weeaboo and I spent the next 30 minutes trying to escape the conversation by any means necessary. I once had someone ask me, "What's the worst thing about you?" Guess what? I have flaws. What are they? Oh, I don't know. I sing in the shower. Sometimes I spend too much time volunteering. Occasionally I'll hit somebody with my car. So sue me. It was just Meredith. When's the last time your dick has gotten direct sunlight? I don't know if my dick ever has. Ever pissed outside? At night. Moonlight is just sloppy second sunlight. Ask them their favorite holiday. See if it's a more family-oriented holiday or a more social holiday. As a British person I was thoroughly confused when the replies to this weren't foreign destinations. Anyone who doesn't say Halloween is wrong. You come across an old lady and baby drowning in a pool. You can only save one. Who do you save and why? Quote, had someone ask me this at a semi-professional event as an icebreaker, haha. Much better than the usual questions. It would be physically easier to save the baby, but the baby is less likely to be able to negotiate a payment for rescue services. Kidnap the baby, raise it as your own, guilt it into supporting you in your old age. Baby grows up, finds itself having to decide whether to save you, or a baby drowning in a pool. Favorite color, birthday, name of their first pet, and mother's maiden name. No reason. Hey man, does your credit card have 3 numbers on the back like mine? Lol, what are they? Lol. My new coworker of 2 days asked me, if someone offered you $10 million for a quarter pound of your flesh for them to consume, would you do it? Quote, edit. It has to be your calf muscle. No unborn babies. No fat. Just a quarter pound of calf muscle. My coworker just told me you have to remove the muscle all at once. That way you can't recover and then have a bit more removed. Edit 2, till a lot of people want to eat their own flesh. So many questions. Define flesh. Will it need to be muscle or would fat be okay? B, do they choose which parts of my flesh they get? C, how do they get the flesh? Do I carve it myself? Do they pay for some surgery? Do I only need to get it to them and they don't care how? A and B, it is your calf muscles. C, they pay for the surgery. We have to do this at work. Asking 5 questions to 3 new coworkers every week. My questions are, if you could bankrupt any person, company, country, or organization, who would it be? What is your drink of choice? If you could learn any musical instrument, what would it be? If you could intervene during any historic event, changing history, what would it be? You just became a member of the Spice Girls. What is your Spice name? Create your own. How do you hire so many new people all the time? It's a high-stress environment, so the starting position has a pretty high turnover. We did have a hiring freeze for a while, which made it hard, but we usually have a pretty steady volume of new people. Asterisk, clarifying the comment about being a high-stress environment due to the responses. The job pays well. The management and executive team are great. It is simply a matter of the industry we're in that is difficult. Asterisk. Asterisk edited for grammar. Incorrect word. Asterisk. I like to ask, what's your favorite smell? You learn a lot about a person. Edit. So I guess I should say my favorite smells are the smell after a fresh blanket of snow that has fallen, the smell of my grandpa's workshop, which was a mixture of farm and fuel, and lastly, the smell of the beach, whether it be the lake or ocean. Second, for all you asking how it can tell a lot about a person. If you looks at same my favorite smells, you can guess that I am from a place or have been to one that gets cold and had farmland, which I have. I'm from northern Illinois, so it's sometimes quite easy to connect a smell to a person's life. The smell of napalm in the morning. Do you by chance play drums? Good drummers are hard to find, so it pays to ask around. Bad drummers also played the drums. Source: friends in a really good percussion quartet. If they ask to join your band, bad drummer. If you have to ask them to join your band, okay drummer. If you have to convince them because they're already in 4 other bands, good drummer. What are you proud of, but never have an excuse to talk about? That gets people to talk about things they've done and just want to bring up. So you see what's important to them, monsieur. I've actually asked this before. I call it a bragging session. I love seeing people's values and passions with this question. Y'all eat ass? The oddest answer I've seen, would you ever eat ass, get was in an ideal world. Realistically, probably not. So, you like bread? Edit. Holy crap. This blew up. My highest rated comment. What is the most normal thing about you? Works, since nothing is more embarrassing than being normal nowadays. Most normal thing about me is I'm 22 and crippled with a fear of failure, and I use memes as a coping mechanism, but all it does is mask the pain for a few minutes. Haha. Haha, yes. If space aliens announced that they would destroy the world in 24 hours, and there was no way to avoid it, what would you spend that time doing if you had all of the resources you have right this second? Money, car, etc. If you had unlimited resources, one celebrity who you are not currently friends with will be soul-bound to for the rest of your life. There's no obligation that you have a romantic entanglement, although you're allowed to, and you guys will never be able to be more than 20 feet away from each other. Who do you pick? Willie Nelson. Easy. He'd probably be super chill to hang with, but if he's not, you probably aren't gonna have to put up with him that much longer. Soulbound. They die, you die. I fail to see the problem here. What does soulbound mean in this context? Does it mean if they are injured, you are injured? Is it death? Or does it mean that for whatever reason, you just can't be more than 20 feet away from each other? What happens if the celeb dies? Asking the important questions. I don't want to be tethered to anyone, only 20 feet away, for the rest of my life. So I'd choose some D-list celeb, and then kill them, if it doesn't also kill me. Is a hot dog in a bun a sandwich? Is pizza just an open-faced sandwich? Is an ice cream sandwich a sandwich? Everyone has a different sandwich opinion, and so far everyone I've asked gets super defensive once you cross their sandwich line. Good icebreaker. **edit. ***. I want to clarify. I don't necessarily believe the 3 sandwich options above to be true. I think I have a logical, practical split on this. You can justify almost anything as being a sandwich logically. But if a friend says, "Come on over, I'm gonna make sandwiches so come hungry," and I show up and it's a bunch of tacos, I'd be confused. Maybe. I think we all develop our sandwich rules by experience. But questions like these make us question why. Generally, I think there aren't any rules to it. But breaking down our perceived rules can be a fun thought exercise, conversation. As for me, if I'm thinking logically, it's yes, no, yes. Hot dog follows the rule of subs. Pizza's bread isn't baked yet at time of assembly. And ice cream sandwiches have sandwich in the name. If I'm going by instinct, experience, it's no, no, no. If you're getting a hot dog, we have a word for that. It's hot dog. Same with pizza. Also apply baking rules above. If I showed up somewhere and ordered a sandwich and got an ice cream sandwich, I'd be 1. surprised and 2. probably hungry, upset later. The surprise means I'm lying to myself if I call it a valid sandwich option. Also, cereal, soup. People, I don't eat, drink cereal because I'm a monster, I guess. But I'd say it's cereal until soggy. Then it's soup. I'd describe the mixture at the end as soupy, anyway. How much sawdust can you put into a Rice Krispie treat before people start to notice? I spit out my cookie laughing. Thanks. Do you fuck with the war? No, I don't fuck with the war. I'm like, no, I don't fuck with the war. Like, what's next? You don't fuck with Pangea? This bitch don't know about Pangea. What is something that is important to you that you never really talk about? Where do you want it to be in an hour? What is the last thing on your mind? What is something I wouldn't believe about you? What way do you have your toilet paper? Why? If you had to pick between being the world's best tetherball player and finding $100 on the street, what would you spend the money on? You assume no one would pick the world's best tetherball player. But I would, because I can make $100 and it is really not that much. But being able to truly be the best at something in the world would just make me happy, as I am mediocre at everything no matter how hard I work at it. And if by some chance I am proud of myself for being good at something, I will happen upon someone in my life who is better than me. Very often that is my husband. Just once it would be nice to truly be good at something. A guy in my class, who I had not spoken to before but had seen around a bit, sent me a Facebook message saying, "Would you rather have bionic arms or bionic legs?" Quote. I typed a super long reply, ultimately giving reasons for both, and sent him a "would you rather?" Question 2. This went on for a while. Messages got longer and longer, more and more personal, till we went out on a date. That was a little over 6 years ago. He's now my husband and we have 2 children. Not a bad conversation starter. What is your favorite song by your least favorite artists? Hey Soul Sister by Train, and now it's stuck in my head, you bastard. What do you like on your pizza? Easy way to go back and forth. Agree, disagree in a friendly, subjective manner and expand into a greater conversation on what each other like to eat. Then you can work into places you have been where you ate a certain good, bad meals. From food to location, the conversation can go a lot of places. Edit. Manner to manner. Greater than agree, disagree in a friendly, subjective manner. Unless one of you likes pineapple and the other doesn't, then it's all-out warfare. How many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed? Why? How many times have you given a rehash of the same speech about morality in the new world? You just don't get it, man. This is the way things are now. Where were you in 1998 when The Undertaker threw mankind off of Hell in a Cell and he plummeted 16 feet before crashing through an announcer's table? My new personal favorite. On an average day, How many pigeons do you think you could reasonably carry? It's so far out of left field. It throws people off and gets them thinking. They also think you're weird for asking it, but it's worth it for the random answers you'll get. I asked somebody this question with this as my own spin on things. Side note: no bags, boxes, or baskets are allowed to be used. Also, they are fairly tame, and as long as you're not trying to hold them by a wingtip or a beak, they're pretty chill. Their answer to me was, "Are you on the drugs?" Quote, "So thanks, you, cinema chick. Thanks for that. Weirdness achieved." Winking face. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.